So today we're going to talk about microbiomes, and I'm going to share my screen. Only how to 1 second. Yeah, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Something here. Here. So today we're going to talk about gut health and microbiome. This is a very important topic, super important, in my opinion, and one of my favorite, because gut health and gut microbiomes, they're linked to the brain and to all depression. Microbiomes, the group microorganisms, they're located all over our body. So the main location is, of course, starting from the skin, then going down from the mouth area, throat, the lungs, to the gut, then through genital areas, and of course, it's our gut coming, can go good now, if you like. Microbiomes, mainly bacteria, up to 90%, 95, but also viruses, fungi, and archaea. They all living on us, within us, and they're part of our identity. So, microbiomes, around 38 trillion microbes in our body, is close to the number of human cells. There are 30 trillion. Over 10,000 different microbial species. Mostly of them will be bacteria, but they're also fungi, archaea, and some parasites. The majority, around 80%, will live in the gut. Bacteria will be around 90 to 95%, and the viruses much less, they 5 to 8%, a little amount of fungi and archaea. So the history. Historically, scientists and the world was concentrated mainly on pathogens because they took life of so many people, mainly children. And pathogens, it was easy to grow them. They're usually aerobic and anaerobic, but they have a clear ideas how to get them. But it was until 2000s, then a new DNA sequences technology, especially 16S RNA, been discovered, and the scientists found ability to identify more microbes without culturing them. So it was because they're so gentle, they're so fragile, they simply will die in normal circumstances. We can't grow them, it's so hard. And they realized there are trillions of them microbes living in a healthy person. They are most of them really helpful but not harmful. In 2007, the United States launched the Human Microbiome Project. It's fascinating and a huge project that actually they turn medicine and science and their personalized approach upside down. Their aim was to map all microbes living on and within us. And what they found is fascinating that obesity, diabetes, depression, anxiety, and they defined the gut-brain axis, that immunity, skin health, and the cancers, all that play a role. It shocked medicine, it shocked nutrition, it shocked psychology, and even cosmetic industries. So that's mean that all the medicine, nutrition, and psychology is now united as one. So we can't live without it. So all the doctors need to learn psychology, psychologists need to learn medicine about bacteria and nutrition. So is that important? In 2010, microbes linked to diseases, and they start playing a crucial role. And from 2020s, so it's a COVID time, they understand that microbiome targeted therapies are personalized. So lifestyle medicine, functional medicine, or holistic approach to health now is the future. So all the doctors and people in healthcare probably will all have to learn about microbiomes, and we need to deliver as much information as possible to the public to discover who we are and from what we are made from. So what are the major discoveries from this project? Major discoveries that we are unique because we all have different microbiomes in our organisms. So even identical twins, they will have different microbiomes. No one perfect. So perfect microbiome does not exist. So if we want this perfect profile, then I might do I'm better than you. That's not going to happen. We'll all be different. Immunity system in early microbe explosion trains immune system and low diversity links to autoimmune disease. Here I want to mention that the child personality and microbiome get founded approximately stable Bezier free. The other personality linked to other microbiomes. And also, we're now getting more and more evidence that it's genetically predispositioned to that. So, DNA close to how you're going to absorb sugar, what's the level approximately of cholesterol, uh, LDL, HDL you will have. Um, so many different things now. It might be predicted by the DNA. What we as well know that DNA, of course, is only 16 to 30%, and all the rest is our environment and the way how we live this life is a lifestyle. So is that important? So, and yeah, of course, such information shocking for all of us. We're going to talk a lot about personality and stress management because now psychology and medicine, and I would say pharmaceutical and healthcare changed upside down. And that thank you to microbiome discoveries. Metabolism and obesity, of course, the gut bacteria affect calories extraction and weight gain, or you put on weight, your visceral fat, your blood pressure, so many things. Even how you're gonna, how much antibiotics you're gonna produce yourself, what's your immune system response to different things, how enzymes gonna break down the food, how you're gonna respond to different things. Yeah, and other mood as well, can imagine. Gut-brain axis, so here's nearly everything. So our daily life, it's gut brain. We are what we eat. It's an old book in 1940s or 50s being published. So back then, even longer than that, that important the way to say who you are because it's our choices. Our daily nutrition, breakfast, lunch, dinner, the way how what we eat, how we eat, and when we eat as well, changing us as a person. Pregnancy is a vaginal microbiomes as well, and antibiotic damage. Microbiomes super sensitive and they might never recover, and pesticides. So any preservatives or anything that normally will destroy and kill bacteria around us will destroy very useful bacteria inside of us. So discoveries formulated our projects. Of course, this project shake the world, shake the science. And then, of course, we want to discover more and the earth, microbiomes, and the soil, ocean, carbon, climate change the world. And they invest a lot of money and they've done a lot of research into surroundings and that environment because our environment affecting us. So literally, yes, we have these microbiomes, but where we live, on which soil we step in daily, which ocean we're surrounded with, what climate we live, moisture level, sun exposure, and how would bacteria live in that super important, and pollution. Yeah, how they harm, beneficial or less beneficial. So we want this project mainly related what is the perfect habitat for human being. American Gut Project as well. They found out that we need at least 30 plus different variants of fibers and plant food per week. So you can mix them. Yeah, so it's different nuts, it's different sort of vegetables, fruits. We should be very creative, including seeds, different seeds as birds. So getting closer to squirrels, we're getting closer this time a little bit to the nature, to the birds, and we start even taking food from them. They strongly increase gut microbiome diversity and the key marker, the gut health. Western diet, sadly, including our diet in the United Kingdom, United States, is very high in fat and very low in fiber. And this, of course, number one alarm for all of us and wake up call to change it. Yeah, so we need to make reasonable changes, reduce bad pathogenic bacteria and develop and grow the good ones. We can grow them. Lifestyle changes, of course, urbanization comparison to rural life, stress, pets. Pets, that I can tell you as well, not designed to live and sleep with us in one bed. And if your cat or dog or other animals living, sharing bed with you or sharing the house with you, because that usually is negatively impacting your gut, because we're not animals, but we're animals in terms of we're not pets, and our organism might go into contradiction. As a result, might only increase risks of inflammations and extra diseases. Historically, still pets was living outside, including dogs. So now sleeping in the beds with us, but now is the prime number one. Yeah, there's leaking, and we cuddling, and the nearly eating, drinking. Yeah, so actually, big exchange, kissing. We do kiss. They kiss in the dogs a lot. We know that, and think about it. Yeah, maybe slightly differently about after this lecture. So different types of bacteria, another meta HIT. They discover different enterotypes, that people have microbiomes that cluster into types based on dominant bacteria, and that we can suggest on a personalized testing that we're going to talk a little later. So, key find about skin. As you know, I hold myself skin specialist, and last 15 years I was working there. Now I'm exiting slowly. I'm not exiting. I'm slightly working slightly from different angle. That the skin is unique microbiome. We all have different skin. That healthy skin is mean bacterial balance. Dysbiosis leads to skin problems, and skin microbiomes also very, very sensitive. And skin microbiomes also affect the way how we age, and as well predominant by the genes. So we have already recorded some information in how we're going to age, and there is also gut-skin axis. So we have literally every single organ we have access. As you know, skin is the biggest organ in our body, biggest one. And of course, we have a gut skin axis, we have a gut brain axis, we have a gut heart axis, we have heart liver axis, etc. All the organs, gut, final organ, and like they communicate and telling you what to do, how to do, and it's complicated. It's a complicated community there, and a lot of things going on, and they're going to discover them one by one. Skin microbiomes. Why skin? As I said, because that's the passion. Mainly facial skin is my passion, and my, for example, research will link to the analysis of skin mapping, human facial skin mapping in terms of transport of water or skin hydration. So what we know now from microbiome side as well, different areas contain different bacteria, and that's also affecting on hydration, on how oily sebum productions, thickness, and even transport of water loss. How much is protecting the barrier of the skin, and a healing process, yeah, in terms of accident, cuts, or inflammation. So the skin is different, and on the face, and they have different microbes, different concentrations on these microbes. Oral microbiome, now very important. Why? Because the mouth is the first, let's say second, because first, food processing, when we think about and smell the food, yeah, we already enzymes start to saliva and getting has the salivation process started, but then the food go into the mouth. It's very important processes, and the bacteria is living there, playing a crucial role. So microbes, they are hotspot around over 700 different species live in the mouth, teeth, gums, tongue, and of course saliva. The balance is very important. So good bacteria protects against cavities and gum disease and dysbiosis that causes a lot of different diseases, including Alzheimer's and heart diseases. Be careful with mouthwashes. Fluorhexidine and other very strong antibacterial mouthwashes kill good microbes and disturb hyperactive nitric oxide, and as a result increasing your risks of cardiovascular problems. And in general, all body effects, all oral microbes influence blood pressure and inflammation. So the lab test available. If somebody interested, please contact me directly, because that price shown here, I think via me or registered person, they might give you a discount, might not give you a discount, but with me, I'll give you a discount because a special discount coming in and we can test them. So if you have gum disease, gum inflammation, something you ward here in the mouth, probably it's a good idea to test and take reasonable actions. Of course, in future, talk to the dentist. However, not all healthcare professionals sadly yet trained in a latest approach of microbiomes because it's quite new science. So we get in there slowly one by one. However, I will be able support and recommend you what my reasonable changes might need for your oral microbiome improvement. Vaginal microbiomes as well is very important for women who are suffering from different, for example, thrush or itching or discharges, a lot of different things is worth to check. Again, not every gynecologist or consultant are aware of such tests and probably wouldn't be able to offer you if you're not trained in holistic approach. However, if somebody interested have problems, menopause, premenopause, or vaginal dryness, or pregnancy or miscarriages, that one a good idea. Discover microbiome shotgun. Key things about gut microbiome. Gut microbiome is the hub. They have the most important part. So, it's a superpower. Is nearly everything and they host over 100 trillion microbes, live mostly in colon. You can imagine it's universe in there. It's been ours, it's so different. And vital function is digest and create different signaling, inform, connect, and produce a lot of different vitamins, K2, B12, folates, production of immune system. So they produce and fight everything. 70 to 80% of immune activity is gut driven. So it's that important. And imbalance is fuels chronic inflammation and disease. It shapes metabolism, so know how kilocalories, how rich 1 kilocalorie and what effect of this 1 kilocalorie will be on you. On somebody, 1 calorie means nothing and actually losing the weight, or somebody who's already gaining the weight. So that is red microbiome's job. And antibiotics. One course of antibiotics can destroy flora for months or sometimes even kill it and never will be restored. So that's why personal approach in personal individual's gut health is needed. Yeah. So here some bacterias. They have different roles. When you do your report, we will be able to analyze what is about anti-inflammatory, gut barrier, or immune system and vitamin support, how they're going, what's the more, what less, are they balanced? Usually they're not never balanced, very rarely. Majority of them, the most balanced diet would be Mediterranean people, Mediterranean diets. Usually they have the most, but modern diet, what we experience, usually we do expect some sort of disbalance there. So GI 360 is the most common and the most complex and the best microbiome testing available in the market now. So if you decide you want to test it, please, can contact me directly. We'll be able to, number one, I will give you access. So the sample will be sent to you. You'll be directly registered with laboratories worldwide. So these laboratories working worldwide because they develop one of the best and one more precise microbiomes development, and all the samples goes to them. And then practitioners, they have special education, registration and educational program, how to support and how to read the results and how to support patients, and where to refer, how to refer, or what to do. So it's quite new. But as I said, is mainly people with special lifestyle medicine, holistic approach, and functional medicine approaches. So you probably maybe heard about it. If you didn't heard about it, probably you'll have a question about microbiomes, and of course the poo analysis, and is a poo or fecal microbiota transplantation. Myself, I'm witnessing a few weeks ago some BBC news about different supplementations. The ideas that are making ready capsules with dry feces from the donor, from health donor. So, and let's talk about a little bit about that. First of all, don't buy feces online in the capsules. Dry, because there is evidence so far no supporting them. They will keep your microbiomes change, or they're better than normal nutrition or fibres, like normal food. They charge a lot of money, around 17,000. They're trying to do some sort of research in poo therapy. I don't know, fecal capsules. I would say be cautious. If you heard about it, somebody offer you, so because microbiomes will grow, you will see the next 10 to 15 years definitely will be much more on the speech, and of course people will try to sell them. They're already trying to do that, and there's a lot of money, and they say this is good for longevity, it's very good for your microbes. Okay, let's talk about it. So the FMT, so the fecal microbiota transplantation, is widely used in the hospital and is a crucial in the first-line treatment for disease like then have by C. difficile bacteria. There's illness or severe diarrhea, a lot of gastrointestinal issues. It might be fatal. And sadly, antibiotics, there is no other better treatments than fecal microbiota transplantation from a healthy donor. So yes, they're taking fresh stool. They make it more liquid with saline. They separate liquid from different filtrate, not filtrate, no, they separate the residues from liquid. And via colonoscopy, they bring this liquid solution to the patient. And the result, recovery, is 95%. Comparison to medication, available antibiotics to treat this bacteria is a success rate around 30 to 40%. So when we're talking about the risk of in a hospital between the death and life and recovery, of course, is very successful. In Chinese medicine, been used from 4th century, and we call it yellow soup. So yeah, they taking the stool and dissolve it in the eating liquid stool for benefits. However, a lot of papers and a lot of companies trying to believe in that, and I noticed some doctors as well in clinics in the UK do that. Please wait and don't rush to buy it. Yeah, so please consult fully trained healthcare professional in holistic approach, lifestyle medicine, or functional medicine before buying that. And yeah, just make sure supplementation taken only when it's really needed and you will benefit from them. So gut microbiomes and mental health, gut-brain axis is probably one of my favorite topic. Why? Because always psychology and our behavior is really linked a lot. 90 to 95% of serotonin get produced in the gut. I'm talking about serotonin for our body. So please don't mix it with serotonin produced in the brain. It's a slightly different path, but they're linked. If you have a happy body, or let's say you have a happy children and you have a happier wife or a happy husband, would you be happier? Of course, we'll all be happy. But if a lot of issues happen in your life and everybody's unhappy, so you're in the household, everybody's not happy, how easy it will be stay happy mentally for you, even if you have a healthy healthy mood, yeah, healthy mood. Early and later, that's affecting as well other mental well-being. So less serotonin production in the gut and less neurotransmitters production in our lower body, the effect eventually in the mental health. And this is exactly what happened. They have pandemic mental issues, problems. Gut controls brain inflammation and short chain fatty acids. We're going to talk a little bit later importance about them, and they come from fibers, from fruits, vegetables, and they help via fermentations, and they reduce brain inflammation, and that protection from anxiety, from Alzheimer's and dementia. Yeah, and of course, anxiety, depression, all diseases, but in long run, we won't prevent mental degradation. Mental degradation will happen anyway, it's a question of the time, but we want natural death comes before dementia hit us. That's ideally what we want. Dysbiosis, of course, is number one cause of all problems because creating gut barrier leaks or creating this leaky gut. And as a result, systematic inflammation, and you might experience brain fog, depression, and anxiety. And microbiomes affects on stress resilience. Yeah, and I have discussed as well in terms of personality as well. There is some genes responsibility for that, but we can alter that with correct diet. Balanced gut, this means better stress control. We will talk about stress management in another program. This huge program is very important, and I will be back to metabolic health during stress management and to the gut-brain axis. Reminder to you that in healthy body, healthy mind, yeah, and connected. So it's not healthy body, there will be no health. Dysbiosis, the more panic, more emotional, and the more different emotional issues. So, discuss depression, of course, different bacteria. If you do your test or you suffer from depression, precise nutrition plan might be done for you if you suffer from different dysbioses. Yeah, again, we can't just say without analysis. We need to see your results, where after that we can create for you specifically individual plan. So don't copy everyone online, what they eat, what they do daily, because for somebody it's beneficial, but for you might be really killing. And now I can confirm this my own experience when getting into this all lifestyle, healthy living and healthy eating tendencies. I think, wow, I should be example. And I sit on this, cut my sugar. Even I was not a big sugar eater, but I cut even my tea, 1 teaspoon with coffee. And it was very, very, very bad effect on me. So healthy life, healthy lifestyle, healthy choices daily, need amendments. And for me, it's definitely not healthy. So I bring my one teaspoon sugar, 2 teaspoons per day sugar, because I don't eat a lot of sweets, and that was a game changer for me. So please, we all individual, we're all different. What is right for me, what I eat, what I do might be absolutely not for you. What if you can fast? If you're going to fast, I probably uh, we'll die much faster or speed up. So we'll have the opposite result. And how you respond to different food is absolutely what we need to see. Glucose monitoring, continuous glucose monitoring is a very good tool for that. So number one killer, sugar. Sugar, because we all like it, right? But not only us. They are actually they are the most dangerous animals in the world, and sugar, probably that's why we so love sugar. And sugar grow negativity in bad bacteria. So if you eat a lot of sugar, don't expect that good bacteria will like and stay for long in the gut. And of course, highly processed foods. Again, we have a lot of sugars and a lot of processed oils. So please refer to my lecture when I talk about oils and omega-3 and omega-6 and the balance between them, because I'm trying to explain the importance of do not use processed oils. Yeah, make sure your oils that you consume are natural source or unprocessed, also cold pressed. Yeah, so and more you eat somewhere else about your house, about your home, restaurants, takeaways, or pre-packed meals, the more chance there will be bad oils in there, and that will kill your microbiomes. Artificial sweeteners, very popular because people are scared of sugar. We know it's not good, but artificial sweeteners, Mali is number 3, because again, we like the taste of something sweet. Aspartame, the most commonly used now, because we already have a lot of evidences how deadly sucralose and saccharin They disrupt gut bacterial balance, they impair beneficial bacterial growth, they increase glucose intolerance, and increase risk of obesity, insulin-resistant metabolic disorders, and also can provoke cancer. As we know, cancer loves sugar. It is sugary thing. So more artificial sweeteners probably the link as well. Everything is sweet. Cancer cells also quite love it. All the pathogens love it. So try to use allulose. Pre-record is quite new, I would say. Market only getting established the latest research and the latest benefits. So allulose is a natural alternative, very beneficial, and I'm going to talk about it a little later when I'm going to talk about GLP-1 and slimming. So processed fats, trans fat, we discussed them in full, but very quickly reminder that they promote inflammation, they alter gut microbiome balance, they increase bacteria, bad bacteria, and they disturb gut barrier function as a result, causing chronic inflammation and gut permeability. Antibiotics, of course, overuse and misuse of them, low fiber diets, and majority of us have low fiber diets, and I highly recommend you to see how much fibers do consume. We want around 30 grams, 20 to 30 grams per day. Excessive alcohol consumption as well. As you know, alcohol is very good antimicrobic properties. Yeah, so it's a kill bacteria. And I have even here is different alcoholic wipes. Yeah, in the clinic, we usually sanitize the face before injections to make sure there's no any inflammation after. Washing hands with different with soaps. So all that killing bacteria, and we don't need to do it that often probably. Smoking, nicotine and toxins as well when we smoke. You know, there's probably people like all this, this witch stuff, witches or whatever, shamans. They constantly use different smokes and different things, aren't they? And actually, if you heard about sage, you take this sage and go around your house, and then you protect from negative energy. And what it does, it just kills bacteria in the air, and they have a lot of stuff going on. And then if you live 400 years ago, I've got so many deaths walking around, so many bacteria. And if you're taking sage, making smoke, and walk around the house, you might kill that bacteria just after the guest or before guest or after the guest. Guest coming in, or maybe they left some bacteria, they take a sage, and there is a lot of, I would say, it's a lot of mystery about it and a lot of knowledge, but mainly knowledge the sage have very strong antibacterial properties. And if you're worried about the air, smoke, of course, is not good, but now we know why historically sage is so beneficial in terms of protection the house and good emotions, because it will kill bad bacteria, in the air, viruses as well. So smoking, bad. Bad is killing good bacteria as well if you're doing that process. So don't do that, ideally. Just better relax. But sage, I would say, still popular. Preservative food additives, preservatives everywhere, because manufacturers want to keep this in the fridge, and we are crazy watching expiry date. It's another illness. I don't know how to get out of that, because people absolutely lost this ability to identify, is that ingredient good or bad? People, they only look in the date, expiry date. Some people even put the expiry date in the salt. So we have to identify. I think we need to bring this culture back when we learn to identify, is that meat is rotten or is it safe to consume? Is that apple is good or bad? No, we look on the expiry date of the fruit. Come on, there's no expiry date. Milk as well. So milk as well. Well, we know how the rotten milk looks like. But if it's okay and expiry date gone, the condition, the season, the same conditions, what is inside of this milk. So please learn a little bit start to learn about ingredients and about rotten process and fermentations and new ingredients, and use it more wisely. Yeah, so what is dangerous, not dangerous. So we lost it. We lost it for years because of low regulation and these preservatives. And in processed food, they add a lot of preservatives to make sure that you don't open your cheese and there is this, some bacteria. Again, you don't know, maybe it's good bacteria. So again, a little bit of fermentation, a little bit of eating a little bit something rotten actually might be quite beneficial. But we're scared. We just say, okay, expiry date tomorrow or today, I'm not gonna eat it. Different words, we're more scared of pathogens for probably on genetic level because they cause us humans so much harm, so many pandemics, so many people died. Pesticides, and now are very, very dangerous stuff. I don't know how to fight that. Nobody knows, United States and Europe, because pesticides killed bacteria, but other bacteria, the microbiomes, we're so sensitive, we're super sensitive. When we kill or protect our leaves or vegetables or fruits, so that's why, yeah, we're saying please eat more fruits and vegetables. But majority of these fruits and vegetables are sprayed by staff to make sure nobody eats that, so not get rotten. And that's reality. That's true. I don't know. I know that whenever I go to eat my raspberries in the garden, there's something there, or some proteins, or some try to eat it. Apples, we're not talking about apples in the garden. Somebody who had it, you know that maybe one apple out of 5 or 10 will be good. All the rest, and the birds trying to eat it, or bring some disease, or bring some bugs, and everybody attacking this sweet apple. Yeah, but again, we should find some sort of balance here, how we can eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and make sure they're grown in a good environment. High meats diets here, probably not about the high meats diet, but high sausages or ham diets. Yeah, because ham contains a lot of salt, again as preservative, so it's very strong preservative, and any preservative will have negative effect on microbiomes. And caffeine. Well, caffeine as well is very important to know how you respond. Caffeine, and that's its genetical profile. You can do DNA tests, and a lot of DNA tests they see how your metabolism working, how your organism excreting and quite quickly breaking down, and genetic factor coming from your genetic microbiomes. So that's already genetically quite nicely. You can protect yourself or have a little bit more awareness about it. For example, me, I'm slow caffeine metabolism. So that means caffeine wouldn't affect on me pre-exercise. But fast, if you metabolize caffeine fast, energetic drinks, you'll give you a lot of energy. For me, actually, I don't notice that much. So with Red Bulls, but if you are a fast metabolism, probably you'll feel a lot of energy in these energy drinks and in caffeine. Yeah, but better no, better somehow discover yourself, slow love yourself, discover yourself. So what we can do? We can eat diverse food, better organic or self-grown, or start having little planting, learning about how to grow and how to fight these parasites and bugs. Limit sugar in processed food. So sugar, reminder, uh, try to cut to 15 to 20 grams per day, simple sugars, yeah, and sucrose, so fructose and sucrose. So fruits as well, you can easily calculate so many different apps. Use antibiotics only when it's strictly really important. So here, healthcare professional doctors, don't use antibiotics just for fun or when you believe you need it. Consume fermented foods daily. I'm going to talk about in this lecture more and more because they boost good bacteria. Avoid smoking or alcohol and prioritize gut healthy foods, garlic, onions, omega-3, and of course, sleep. Sleep's very important, and exercise. Yeah, I didn't put it here, but manage sleep and exercise together is super important. The best you can do. Change your life. So, fibers. Fibers, as we know, is a part of carbs, is they're carbs to give starches. And they have two forms of them. They have soluble or viscose and insoluble or non-viscose. So why soluble? Because they they're soluble in the water and form in gel. So when you boil potatoes, for example, not potatoes, starches, but they have fibres there as well. They when you're making porridges, like oats, for example, they're quite sticky, isn't it? And that actually viscose form. They're very high fermentation by gut bacteria and it produce short chain fatty acids. Super important. Short chain fatty acids are mainly produced from fibers, and they're going to talk about it a little bit more depth next few slides. But there's something that we need to consider is it's nearly everything for the gut. And the regular blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and healthy gut flora. And soluble or non-viscose fibers on the other side, they create in bulk stool. Actually, they create in this volume. How much you will go out? I mean, how much will go out depends how much insoluble fibers you're taking. So if your diet mainly from soluble fibers, you probably your bowel movement wouldn't be that frequent as we want, probably not daily. Again, we need to see is that causing discomfort for you or not. But if to make sure that you have this bulkness, if you like, you need to add in your diet insoluble non-viscose fibers, so different types of nuts. Yeah, it's a lot of things that usually breaking down a little bit more slower is not and not get absorbed and not fermented as well as soluble fibers. So from soluble fibers, I want to get your attention for beta glucagon because beta glucagon very powerful to reduce cholesterol. And cholesterol, probably we're all worried about cholesterol. High cholesterol, bad cholesterol, good cholesterol, ratio triglycerides. So beta glucagon, they here the star of beta glucagon will be oats. What they do, then they get in the gut, they bind with bile acid and helping reduce bad cholesterol. And cholesterol level, with different words, this bad cholesterol coming out, they're leaving, yeah, with excrement. And the liver getting the signal, the cells as well, they're passing information very quickly, and they produce more bile acid because we just bad cholesterol is gone and bile acid with them. Yeah. So and as a result, cholesterol get used, and as a result, bloodstream get less cholesterol as a result. And beta glucagon ingredients, they are moderately high in short chain SCFA or short chain fatty acids. So then they get break down, they produce a lot of butyrate, and they improve in cardiovascular risk, anti-inflammation, you boost the immune system. With different words, is very good things. And oats, barley, mushrooms, they all ingredients they rich in beta glucagon. So if you want to reduce bad cholesterol, make sure you use oats, at least here and there, but not processed. Yeah, please, please. This is the most simple oats. If they processed, they're not that beneficial anymore. Yeah, no sugar added, not this fast oats, then you know prepack them. So 1 minute and it'll be ready. No, no, not 1 minute. Or the nut in the fridge for 8-10 hours. Yeah. So that will beneficial. This 1 minute, if you think with delicious honey or the maple syrup in there, processed, and 1 minute they're already ready, just hot water and you're ready. And you will live in the imagination. You truly believe that your cholesterol get reduced. Yeah, yes, the good short fatty acid get reduced. No, no, nothing. You'll get inflammation. You'll kill bacteria. Yeah, because they're processed. Make sure from now on forward you buy raw ingredients. Yeah, so it's okay a little bit dust, it's okay the color, it's okay they're not the same size as should be. That's normal. Yeah, because oats the same as us, they're all different. Barley, barley is superfood. Amazing because it's a quite slow release of carbs. Yeah, so barley, I would say, even very powerful, very good. Not that popular, gaining popularity now with lifestyle medicine and this approach with microbiomes because they are super. I would say inside the superfoods. Mucilages. So mucilages is I don't know, I'll call it like a birdie, birds food and getting gain popularity. Is they creating the gel forming carbs as well, and they're very nice for the water. And usually it's seeds. Why? Because to grow this seed to grow, they need retained water. And mucilages in these different seeds, then, as we know, usually, yeah, the seeds getting produced more in September or whatever, end of summer, and getting quite, they hold this water for the winter time, and then the spring coming in, they have more sun, and then warmer, they start to grow. So they hold water because they need water for that. So that's mean they help with water retention in the gut. The best of them will be flaxseed, and the flaxseed, they're super rich in omega-3 and different oils, together with shea seeds, basil seeds, psyllium husk, and actually quite good as well with people who suffer constipation, aloe vera and figs. Yeah, but this, the first four probably, they're amazing. And they're little, they do so much benefits. And they help as well protect, of course, because the water retention and gel forming properties will protect digestive tract and they increase satiety. So they're very good if you want to control your weight or you're putting on weight or you're trying to lose your weight. So mucilages group seeds, that will be your first choice. Well, not the first choice, but one of the things you consider and should be on in your kitchen cabinet. So finally, I want to talk about short chain fatty acids. So they produce by process of fermentation of soluble fibers by the gut bacteria. And there's a lot of different bacteria. And they play like a crucial role in immune system, anti-inflammatory, in general metabolic health. There is a lot of them, acetate, propionate, and butyrate probably the most important because, and the most studied, I would say. We probably don't know, but let's say the most studied and more discovered beneficial short chain fatty acids with butyrate because it's like a fuel for colon cells. They improve in gut health. They have anti-inflammatory properties and the cancer preventative properties. So it is important, probably because we're all trying to fight with the cancer, spend so many billions, and as well help with longevity. So we play the role in gene expression. And valerate, that's less abundant, or maybe not that discovered or not understood well enough yet, but this is what we know so far. So butyrates, this is something, if you hear this name and the food, just eat it. It's good. So now we move into another carb group, and we usually call them starches. And again, we have two groups here. We have digestible starches and resistant. So resistant is something we resist. Yeah, well, it's not that easy. They're gonna fight. They will fight with us. We probably have starches. They know they're not that good. They're trying to avoid starchy food, and I think it's quite a big mistake. But how they eat them? And of course, it's potato, rice, corn, and bananas. So what's the problem with starches? Digestible starches, they very quickly get broken down by digestive enzyme and very quickly transform to the direct sugar. And they create quite big spikes, glycemic spikes in our bloodstream. And of course, we want to avoid it. It's because it's not very good. Yes, it's not good for general health. It's not good for our microbes. And usually, that's happened when you eat hot potatoes, white rice, corn, yeah, and yellow bananas. But here, there is resistant starches. And do you know that actually raw potatoes, they are resistant? That's why we can't eat them, because they don't get digested. Yeah, and they create this bloating, vomiting, and all these Ozempic side effects. Yeah, so we can't digest them. They will sit there and can cause diarrhea. So a little tiny little amount is okay, but it really depends. A little bit we can digest, but not so much. So we don't eat raw potatoes. Yeah, we don't eat raw rice. And we try to avoid green bananas, but it's good green bananas. I'm going to tell you why. Because when we cook, and cool potatoes, rice, pasta. They retrograde starches to resistant condition. So if you interested a little bit more, you can Google it. You can find information how this level of resistance of the starches, how they're going through them. So retrograde is mean they bring them back to resistant resistant condition. And the best retrograde starches will be rice, pasta. So let's me so come back and what we need to do. So we need to cook starchy ingredient and we need to leave them in a cool place around 6 to 12 hours, ideally in the fridge. Around temperature lower than 10 degrees for quite a long period of time. I think it will depend on the food what you do, but in overnight, usually 8 to 10 hours should be enough. And we'll know that the starch being digestible starch turning back to resistant, and that's turning to be a super good fiber superfood. It's affecting the same as a fiber. Yeah, so from starches they jump in creating different food, just with this type of quite intelligent process. And rice, especially basmati, jasmine, or brown. I want to highlight here that color matters. So try to use the darker colors as possible. Checked on myself with continued glucose monitoring. Then I cooked black rice. Number one, quite tasty and taking quite a long time to cook, around half an hour. But my spike was absolutely minimal. And I ate hot rice and cool. You can cool it as we know to recreate, but try to choose browner, darker. Your starch will be, in this there's no starch, but grain probably will be better. Pasta, slightly firm, lentils, chickpeas, hummus made from cooled chickpeas. They all will be gut friendly. Black beans, kidney beans, green peas. So literally vegetables, if they need to cook them, make sure you cool them, leave them in the fridge, and then eat them or cold and slightly heated. We don't want them very hot. Oats, overnight oats, the healthiest one. Yeah, so first of all, make sure your oats are not processed. If you cook making porridge out of them, make sure you can eat straight away, but your spikes will be quite big, quite high up. But if you cool it, leave in the fridge and warm up slightly next day, they're turning into super oats. But super oats, the best is just to soak them with the milk or water in the fridge, and you can consume them in the morning cold or warm up slightly. That would be the best result for detox properties, for cholesterol reduction. Barley, I like barley. As I said, is probably another superfood. And if you have an option, please buy and put this in your list. Sweet corn, quinoa. Quinoa again, different colors. Darker colors, probably red and brown and black. Buckwheat and green bananas. Green bananas, they're retrograde. Not retrograde, they are resistant starches. So that's why you probably notice in the market, in the shops, they start to sell more green bananas. So if you're on a diet and you need to, bananas, they're super good resources for electrolytes. So after exercise, if you sweat a lot or you're running a lot or distressed, probably very good green banana. Keep with you. Not yellow banana, but green banana. Fermented food. Fermented food is a superstar for superstars galaxy because they bring new live bacteria. Nothing better than that. So don't spend a lot of money for different probiotics, prebiotics. Number one, they're expensive, and nothing will beat fermented food. So they produce metabolites, lactic acid, short chain fatty acids, bioactive peptides during digestion. They might affect on acidity, making it harder for harmful bacteria to survive and grow. Make sure you use fermented food once a day or even twice a day. Once a day will be enough. Even leak a little bit will have, because the bacteria are so sensitive. Will be really happy for any amount. Kimchi, yogurt, sauerkraut, miso, dark chocolate, dark chocolate fermented, 85%, will be amazing. You can choose what you want, little teaspoons, a little amount there, and you will see magic start to happen, including your mood, yeah, including your happiness, including your bright future. So we're moving to the brain. I love brain in psychology because lifestyle medicine involved a lot of psychology and a lot of behavioral changes. And you can't motivate people to change if you don't learn psychology. So we all lifestyle specialists or alternative medicine specialists, we all learn psychology. So we learn brain quite a lot, not of course on the level of clinical psychologist, but it's a lot of information and therapists there. We should be aware how to refer person if needed, if we see um, um, any problems to psychiatrists, to psychologists, to be different. So we're trying to, of course, navigate natural way and see how it goes. So, and here, brain, gut-brain axis, number one assessment point to see if we can do something with lifestyle changes. And majority of the time, yes, we can. In a lot of cases, lifestyle changes will improve. So as you can see on this image, that they connected a gut and the brain connected via vagus nerve. So the signaling was going on and the information straight away gets signaling to the brain. So no way. If a vagus nerve not working, you need a huge problem. so endocrine system, nerve system, immune system, all these microbes and everything is going on. Bacteria, amount of bacteria, all those get declared and get informed. The brain after that making a reasonable adjustment if they can. So, and brain is made up of actions. Yeah, and unfortunately, it seems like they're not very good friends. We don't understand what's going on. We don't understand the signals. They don't understand. They don't know. They need to learn on cellular level. So that's why we all try pass our knowledge further. And if you can, please pass this video or some new information to others. And like that, we can improve because within the next 10, 15 years, we expect huge changes in medicine in general. With artificial intelligence and everything that's going on now, we have to act, we have to adapt to new life. And we shouldn't have to say after that, oh, I got no idea of what was going on because it's happening now, big changes and absolutely different approach. So neurotransmitters, I love them because neurotransmitters, as I said already before, the result of genetics and the information of our personality probably by age of 3, then our microbiota get formed as well. And literally, if you notice children as though some shy, some very chatty, some kids are very happy, and usually kids much expect children to be happy. Adults as well, serotonin production will affect in terms of how social, how level of extroverts, how easily they can talk to others, how easy we share the knowledge, we support things. And of course, with the reduction of serotonin, they get more close, more depressed, then get more avoidant. They're closing down as a result, depression, anxiety, and including in the young children, also autism. Yeah, so there's a lot of things linked by nutrition and genetic factors is playing role. Genetics playing role here as well, but by the age of 3, super important. And you can't diagnose anything by age of 3. So even unless it was some sort of trauma, a lot of factors involved or genetic. So it's still a lot of things science and medicine can't explain. So but 95% of serotonin produced in the gut, low serotonin, that's mean depression, anxiety, irritability, mental dysfunction, low mood. 50% of dopamine as well for our organism. Low dopamine means low motivation. Again, you are tired, you don't want to do anything, don't want to learn anything. And of course, GABA is a calming. So we can't calm down. We're always like stressed. We're always negative thoughts or something. We can't calm down. And 400 times more melatonin. So our body getting ready for sleep and circadian rhythm as well. So remember in one of the lectures we discussed about circadian rhythms, and our organism and organs, they have their own rhythm, yeah, then they function. So we need to bear in mind that. So which food, where, so, but I'll leave it rather up to you. And acetylcholine, very importantly in learning and studying. So everything that you learn here, make sure acetylcholine. And you know Botox, because what does Botox is blocking this signal. Yeah, acetylcholine, very strong muscle. So yeah, you see I'm contracting, yeah, and this contraction is acetylcholine release. And what Botox does, yeah, is block acetylcholine release and then contraction. Signal stop, it's not happening. So anyway, frozen. Okay, but it is a little bit from aesthetic medicine. Acetylcholine release, get released in the signal, not when we want to look up and want to show emotion, but they can't because we have a Botox. And actually, it's not that beneficial. It's beneficial because we can't express our emotions, we can't be ourselves. And the severe Botox users or lovers limited for once a year. Yeah, so ladies that constantly want to frozen look, you froze your emotions, you're affecting your brain, you're affecting your mood, you're affecting your daily choices. So be wise if you do aesthetic medicine procedures. That be wise, don't do it more often than maybe once or twice a year, depending on the age, of course, and probably depends on your microbiomes and your general mood and your personality. So, gut brain support food. So, what the best we can eat to support our brain. So, of course, it's a high fiber foods, probiotics, and rich in inulin. And are artichokes in this list, but also chicory root, leeks, onions, garlic, asparagus, green bananas. Again, they're here with good stuff. Oats and legumes. And our goal is to use at least 30 different plants. And again, here, if you can eat raw, please eat raw. Yeah, because it's more likely to be in this retrograde, or if you cook it, make sure you cool it down. Actually, fire, human was skipping the fire, isn't it? But we as well, they don't need to cook everything. They're quite designed, quite healthy for the gut to eat uncooked, actually, including meat, good quality meat. Not processed, not processed. We eat cook, but we like to process it. So fermented foods, they're processed, aren't they? But they're good processed. This is something that gets fermented and keeping Eastern Europe cultures that quite good in that. So there is areas where we come from in different soups, keeping them for winter. But they are very good because use them at least once a day for the gut bacteria, and don't delete them. Actually, don't be scared of the taste. Get used to the taste. If a little bit spicy or a little bit too, if it's a little bit too harsh for you, start slow. As I said, start with flicking. That will already help you a little bit, tiny little bite, and then finally, your taste will change. Broccoli sprouts. Okay, so here is a little trick for you from longevity and epigenetics and genetics and longevity courses and super food. So we probably heard about broccoli, and it's very good, and broccoli sulforaphane is such an ingredient. Yeah, but the problem here is that actually this ingredient need to be produced. Yeah, and to get produced, they need enzyme, myrazinase. So it's not that easy. So either you eat your broccoli, yeah, straight away and cook it and steam it, it's losing all the benefits. So literally is number one, because we cook it and they eat it hot. So probably not the best way, eat it raw. But myrazinase, very heat sensitive enzyme. Yes, the broccoli sprouts have this enzyme, but they need taking time to activate sulforaphane because it's a precursor. Is need to be activated. So the chain of reaction should happen, and they need enough enzyme for that. And this enzyme and larger quantities in radish and mustard seeds. or mustard seed powders. So that's mean if you want to get the most antioxidant properties, longevity, regeneration, and prolongate your life, please chop broccoli sprouts, half an hour before. Keep away from the sun or heat. Better keep it again in the cool temperatures, and put a sprinkle of mustard seeds or a little bit of radish, and leave half an hour, and then eat it cold. Ideally, we don't want to heat too much because you lose so much antioxidant properties. It's so strong antioxidant properties that it actually is even reverse and help with prostate cancer. So suppress growth of cancer cell is really strong. It's super good, super good. But make sure if you use and consuming very important ingredients, you have to learn preparation. You have to learn this kitchen. Yeah. As I said, the rule is very simple. Eat raw as possible, and if you cook it, make sure you cool it. Yeah, and then try not to reheat it. If you reheat it very gently, and then you probably get the most and the best. Polyphenols is another very good to activate the brain. It's a dark chocolate. You probably heard that the dark chocolate is good. Number one, it's fermented, isn't it? So so it's good because fermented 85%. I prefer 85, and they're rich in polyphenol. So it's super good for us. So black chocolate, if you don't like it, you probably don't know about the benefits. If you don't like a product, write down how good it is for my health, for my longevity, for my brain, and you probably start, and again, lick it. Just have a tiny little bite. Just a little bite, little lick daily, a little bit, and that will be chocolate probably. You just tiny little bite if you don't like it. Within the time, your taste changes. Yeah. And what is another thing as well, we need bitter for, first of all, for taste. And the more you eat bitter, if you have a sweet tooth and you prefer sweet, if you start practicing um, using more stimulated beta receptors, they'll get more respondent, and as a result, reduce your craving for sugar. Yeah, because in the mouth, you think, oh, it's not too sweet. Yeah, so start it. Just introduce a little bitter ingredients and bitter food with daily basis, like a little bite like that. Don't like it because your taste receptors eating too much sugar, different words, and sugar does. And you will see within a few months' time, you start to taste this dark chocolate or bitter ingredients absolutely differently. And you will look in the sugar products. Oh my God, how could I eat it before? I can't, it's too much. It doesn't, it's too aggressive. I don't taste it anymore. So blueberries, blackberries, amazing good. Raspberries, super antioxidant. Pomegranate seeds or pomegranates, olive oil, extra virgin cold pressed, and not only olive oil, but especially green tea, especially matcha, resveratrol. So resveratrol in this case better take supplements. Yeah, because if you're going to drink wine, I don't know how many liters in terms of wine, 100 liters, I think you need to drink to get 1 capsule of resveratrol. So if you want to have an antioxidant, resveratrol is really important, really quite good one. Polyphenols, they're few for anti-inflammatories, gut microbiomes, and this is what we want. We want to reduce inflammation. So yes, make your own list. First of all, what you like, what you dislike. And if you do your testing, it depends on the missing, you can alter that. Omega-3 rich foods, anti-inflammatory for the brain, super important for the brain. I'm going to talk a lot of about brain food and brain metabolism in our lecture. And omega-3 reduce gut inflammation and neurotransmitters signaling in the brain. Chia seeds, wild caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, oily fish, flaxseed, walnuts. They all quite good source. If you take supplementation, make sure is a good source. So make sure is I talk a lot about omega-3 in my lecture about the oils. Tryptophan. I love tryptophan. So we discussed tryptophan already, covered it in proteins and physical activity, because tryptophan is essential amino acid, and tryptophan is a building block and building protein for serotonin production. So we need it that much. And you know what? The richest, that will be turkey. And probably it's no surprise that people eat in Turkey for Christmas, because Christmas is such a depressing time. It's winter, it's cold, it's gray, it's the shortest day in the year, and probably Turkey. They boost our mood, they boost serotonin, and a little bit of present and warmness, family time. So that's why probably Christmas turkey dish, quite beneficial, quite happy food. So turkey, yes, in terms of tryptophan source, turkey will be, and chicken will be in the first list. Then it will be eggs, and then already pumpkin seeds, almonds, tofu, and please don't forget about fiber, because microbiomes, and here the little source of ingredients. Yeah, so what you can eat a lot, just make it balanced. And now finally, we're up to incretins. Incretins are hormones that release in the gut when we eat to regulate our blood sugar by stimulating insulin release and slow down digestion. So why is that? There are two hormones. There is GLP-1, a glucagon-like peptide 1, and GIP. So why I'm talking about it? Because literally they are food sensors. So they are alerting organism. We have new arrival of the food here. We smell it, we understand it, and they start to act. They signaling, stomach to close down. So you need to work. Signaling pancreas to stop produce insulin, because you know what? I would just lock down belly, stomach, yeah, because we've got so much food, and we need to sort out what is there. So literally stomach trying to figure out breaking down the acidity, kill all pathogens before they enter. Yeah, so stomach actually is like pre-assessors of the bodies, yeah, because it's such an acidic area there. A lot of bacteria dies in there before they enter the good one. So actually, GLP-1 signal slowing down the process to sort out who's there, who's arrived with the food. For the pancreas, we need insulin. Yeah, because the sugar, a lot of sugar now coming in, and they need to distribute to the fat, to the muscle, to the liver. And the signal in the liver stop producing, releasing glucose, because remember we discussed that liver keeping sugar as a form of glucagon. So GLP, glucagon-like peptide. Yeah, so it's linked to glucagon to liver. So the signaling then stop giving that, because so much sugar arrived, they probably stop releasing that, because we'll have plenty now, and get ready probably work with new glucose will coming soon, or breaking down other things. Heart, cardiac protection, cardiac function getting increased as well, because we have a food, and the brain signaling the food already arrived in the stomach. We're not hungry, so don't worry, man. Yeah, so everything is fine. We have a food, we will have nutrition, every single cells, we run as normal, no problem at all. And the brain getting signaling, we're not searching for the food, we get relaxed. Yeah. So what happens? So brain relaxed because our brain, we're constantly under search for food. Yeah, we constantly brain design like that. We need to eat, and brain and anxiety happen. Then constantly under the stress. Where is the food? Where is the money? Yeah, money probably stress from that, how going to pay the bills. But historically, where is the food? Where is my nuts? Where is my, don't know, where is the source of my energy? So when the GLP functioning nicely, our anxiety levels actually reducing, because when they have a little stimulus, a little bit of food, the brain gets relaxed, yeah, and we feel more relaxed. So what happening with diabetes or with obesity? So these GLP-1 not working properly. Yeah. So what happening is, when they get in sugar, normally is a lean person, metabolically health person, when they taking glucose, GLP get produced. Yeah, instead the signal into the brain, oh, I got a sugar, they're slowing down the stomach, everything starts to work perfectly well, and pancreas start to release insulin. Yeah, because the sugar arrived. Yeah, they need to use this glucose. Yeah, but if we're taking a obese person, overweight person, the GLP-1 responding. So that's mean insulin then get produced, yeah, in the bloodstream, and the brain not getting the signal that you just get calories. Is no society. There is no signaling, and the brain getting so anxious. I want the food, and if you eat a lot of sugar, the principle what's happening is quite complex um, problem, yeah. And what scientists discovered is if we're going to inject GLP-1 via injector because it's a protein, yeah. So what's happening? Why we need to inject? Why we can't have a tablet form, yeah? So I think they start having tablet forms now, but generally injection work better because our organism in the gut digest protein and breaking down to the amino acids, yeah. So that's why GLP-1 is glucan-like peptides. It's peptides, not protein peptides, yeah. It's a very, very long chain. It's quite a big chain. And breaking down amino acids. So that's why we're injecting that. We're injecting this and they stimulate GLP-1. So as a result, people with extra weight don't feel hunger. And insulin get produced. So it seems like we are faking the process and we're trying to overgo and stimulate this GLP-1, but it's not ideal, yeah, because brain get confused and we start having side effects. So let's talk about products in the market. So in 2005, first GLP-1 agonists. We have agonists and antagonists. Agonists, that's mainly stimulating. Yeah, so we produce more. So we want GLP more because we want more insulin, we want more satiety, we want effectiveness, and they don't need to eat. Yeah, and the first medicine for diabetic use was launched in 2005. Saxenda in 2015. And then few hours less successful because of the side effects, semaglutide or Ozempic arrived, and it probably is still the most successful and the safer profile medicine in the market. And the latest Mounjaro. If you heard about Mounjaro, they have these two hormones together. However, so far, tirzepatide still probably less successful than Ozempic. Ozempic still probably will be first line and is due to side effects. So what coming soon? So new product we're expecting the market in a few years' time. At the moment, it's phase 3 of research and expected FDA approval and in the market early 2027. So it's semaglutide together with ingredients that affecting brain receptors buffer to boost satiety. So again, we want to undergo pathways and inform that we're not hungry. Yeah, because different ways to different ways how we can do that. As a result, we expect better weight loss, but there's a lot of questions and is a lot of in terms of long-term use questionnaire. So side effects: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, gas, and loss of appetite and fatigue. So what happening? We discussed already when the food coming in. Any food in a normal person, they are slowing down. Everything gets slowed down because we need to sort out what is inside. We need to kill bacteria. There's a lot of things, a lot of business going on there. So they need to sort out who's who, what do what, where is bacteria, where viruses, because it's such a stomach doing job. Yeah. And when it stays there for too long, and this is what's happening when we're injecting excessively in this product, this hormone stays in the bloodstream longer, at all times circulating, then we constantly having this bloating. We might have nausea. We might feel, oh my God, it's too much. I might throw, I might vomit. We might have diarrhea, and all gastro, that sort of issues. It's like if you can't ferment a food, it stays there, will have a virus, and you might have a pain, you have my discomfort, and you feel unwell. You know, when you eat these viruses or bacteria or some bugs coming around, yeah. So that sort of feeling. Pancreatitis, inflammation of the pancreas, and why? Because they constantly send signals to stimulate more insulin. And if it's too much, dosage too high, or is other issues might cause inflammation. So we need to monitor and do the reasonable blood tests, and to make sure it's not happening. Hypoglycemia, so it's low sugar because you stop eating. Yeah, and instead you produce your insulin. So you need to glucose monitoring continuous will help you with that. So you'll be able to monitor your spikes and to understand a little bit better where are you with your medication. A thyroid C-cell tumors, you probably heard about it. So that side effects, so not confirmed in humans, at least we can't definitely say, but being confirmed in rodents. So in animals, the mice, rats, yes, they develop tumors more often. And now under investigation is depressed mood, anxiety, and slowed thinking and brain fog. Well, because we try the line, don't we? When we use medication, we line everything's fine, but it's not the case. And that probably is the only question of the time then our brain maybe start to understand something's not right. It seems like he's saying, and our cells and our organs will say, oh, we're saying we eat, but actually eventually we see have a lack of nutrition, and we don't eat too much, probably enough of bacteria. So there's a lot of things the brain eventually start to understand something gone wrong, and somebody taking us as a fool. And they slow down these processes, can cause anxiety, extra already that you might have from metabolic parts and depression. So this under is investigation have some papers saying is a huge increase and extra depression and even suicidal thoughts. So under severe investigation and a lot of restriction to healthcare professionals who prescribe medication, prescribers, yeah, to make sure they monitor patient. So they want now have it uh, more, I would say, ethical. As a pharmacy prescriber, I receive a lot of notifications as well. Be careful, you might cough, and you might very strict new rules, yeah, apply to pharmacy, because pharmacists now prescribers they're taking a huge role in that. So majority of this medication you buy via pharmacy. So pharmacists need to make sure they provide all support needed, blood testing, and they're responsible. Yeah. So make sure you have a proper support. You have you have all needed information. On the end of the day, it's your health. Yeah, it's your choice. So, but it's a good thing that we have natural GLP-like stimulators, agonists, but they're natural. So, and what are they? Well, of course, there's a sleep and exercise. And lifestyle changes, they're super crucial, super important. And I advise before you go to medication or if you're already medication, try to get that out, yeah, because don't treat our organism as a fool, yeah, because if you're going to treat them as a fool, if you gaslight it, this guy's lighted, yeah, you say, oh, yeah, I give it, no, that's not nice. It's not nice. On the end, usually it is so chronic diseases and the outcome not the best. So ideally we don't want gaslight of the brain on our organism. Ideally we want to find natural ways to stimulate it, to recover, and make everything bring to normal. And the whey protein shakes, one of them, so they lower appetite and improve glycemic index. And of course, to do that, better to do it after exercise. So the number one choice is high intensity, moderate, and or at least walking after your meal to reduce the spikes, and allulose. So allulose are a significant stimulation of GLP-1 as agonist. So it's sweet. So you can use that easily before meal. Because why? Because you simply eat less. You're given the stimulation comparison to normal with 0 calories in there. So actually it's very sweet. Different words. If you like sweets, if you have an issue with that, if you thinking to lose weight, include allulose and take 5 to 10 grams before meal, better in the morning, and see how it goes. Yeah, but there's quite new research, quite promising research, and we are inspired to share this information to you and pass it over. Sleep optimization always was good. Yeah, so make sure you don't stress. It's hard to say, but try optimize your sleep. Yerba mate is a tea, as well as less potent than allulose and whey protein or sleep and exercise, however, still very good, together with berberine and prebiotics and the healthy fats, omega-3 and natural good fats. So we remove the bad fats. Okay, I think for today was quite comprehensive. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, please contact me directly via social media or in this platform, or a different way how you feel is easier for you. And please follow, subscribe, and if you have a questions, ask, and I'll do my best to answer. So thank you for today, and thank you for watching, and that's it for today.